Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I swear I want to like Brandy. She's so light and seemingly lovingly sometimes. She's beautiful, cute, dresses cute, but she just brings the weird energy. And for what? What has anyone done to you? Why are you just so run of the mill? Why are you so basic? Oh, and Chantel, let's talk, sweetheart. Let's talk. They said you need to stay in a child's place, but you are not a child. You know what this show is about. Your mother has been on this show since 2011. That would make this about year 14, I believe. You know what this show is about. Messy old ex-wives, basketball wives, ex-girlfriend of basketball players, ex-fiance of basketball players, ex-wives of football players. um Child, just messy and fussy and cussing and raising all kind of mess. Why are you shocked? And if you're so shocked and you're so different and you're so not like them and you don't play about this and you don't do this and you don't do that, grab your kids and your nanny and go home. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's Kiki and Haha get into another episode of Basketball Wives. It's season 12, episode 5, Magic, Mess, and Matrimony. Do we like the title of the episode? Yep. How would you rate this week's episode, besties? Uh, it's giving a 6 for me. You drop down in the comments and you let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. What do you rate this week's episode? Please like my video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on, ding dong, so that you know each and every time I post my content. And I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I see you. I see you. Come on in. Have fun. We kiki, we ha ha. We take things light and we just go with the punches, honey. So let's get into this episode. So remember the doorbell rang last week. Everyone thought it was going to be Jennifer. Of course, we all did, right? Because she was on her way. But it's a magician named Greg. A magician like Brandy. Like, come on now. That was so bootsy. Who wants a magician to come with his briefcase? He's setting up, he doing stuff. He's sucking balloons and swallowing balloons and playing with the deck of cards. And oh, who cares? But we see that he had a surprise. He had a cover, some kind of velvet, crushed velvet type of blanket or something. It's, blah, 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 boom, we see somebody appear. Boom, it's Shawnee Henderson. And so where she came from, I don't know. They didn't show all that. So Evelyn introduces Shawnee to Denise and Ming Lee. And of course, Shawnee already knows Chantel because that's, Jackie's daughter. She knew Ty already, and she knew Brittany because this is Brittany's second season. So then Jennifer, child, did y'all see the name stamp on television? It said Jennifer Gold. I said, child, it's the scam of the last name. Y'all know that's not his last name. I don't remember what it is, but that's not his last name. He is just a scam. And I just feel so sorry for Jennifer. It's like you cannot be this stupid. It's just past delusional for me. It's just stupid. So then she pulls up, she texts Brandy and tells her she's outside. Come on out. Brandy says she gonna grab Jackie and go outside so they can say hello. Why do you need to say hi and you're gonna see her tomorrow at her wedding? It's giving production. Production set this up. And what happened to Christian? He was in the car when they was on their way. She dropped him off, child. Okay, I don't think that was smart, but production, production has security, right? So she was going to be okay. So she's outside. It's cold because remember, it's December in Nevada, in Vegas. Y'all here in Brooklyn, she's coming down the hallway, shaking and walking. Here she comes. Sit down, mama. Have a seat. So Jackie wants Jennifer to come inside because it's cold. And so Jennifer's like, well, no, because of that one person I don't get along with. She talking about Evelyn. And, she says Evelyn is drama. And here go Jennifer. And I'm in a good place. I mean, we assume that because you're getting married tomorrow, and you just came from Paris to get, we get it. But why are you saying it? You don't have to say it when it's true. You know what I'm saying, besties? Why are you telling us that you're happy and you're in a good place? Are you trying to convince yourself? Because it should just be a part of you. It should just be your whole energy. You shouldn't have to say it, but I think she's trying to convince. And then she says she's okay with things coming to an end. I mean, okay, girl, but Jennifer and Evelyn, here we are again, falling out for the 18th time. So let's move on. So then she asked Brandy what made her plan her party around her wedding. Excuse me, Jennifer. The question should be what made you plan your wedding around Evelyn's birthday? What else is Evelyn? It's her birthday. It's normal to make plans for somebody's birthday. So we want to know what made you, and Brandy, why didn't you even say that? But what made you want to get married on her birthday? It's giving you still got a thing for Evelyn, and she has a thing for you. Y'all sitting here talking about y'all okay with not being friends, but everything out your mouth is you talking about each other. Jennifer keeps Evelyn's name in her mouth and vice versa. Okay. So she was like, no, I planned a birthday party on her birthday. Like, no, that's what I wish she would have said. I planned a birthday party on her birthday. And so Brandy's like, well, I just thought that since we're all, we all be in LA together and, y'all don't have to see each other and why not come to Vegas too? Child. So Jennifer Gold was like, well, how did y'all become best friends? This is her and her confessional. She's trying to figure out, why was she the birthday planner? Why is she? Because you kicked her to the curb. That's why. She went over there. She had to get some kind of friend on the show. Duh. And that's why Shawnee came, because that's her friend. And, they're besties. It is her birthday. Oh, child. So Shawnee doesn't understand why Jennifer keeps coming around to argue about her man. And I agree with Shawnee. Why does Jennifer insist on coming in this circle just to fuss and fight with Evelyn about Christian? Get off this show and go be happy, honey. So Brittany thinks that, Jennifer's delusional. And she is, Brittany. Jackie tells Jen that Shawnee is inside. And so she was like, oh, I didn't know. She says, can you come? No, she said, can she come to the wedding? And Jackie tells her that Ty wants to come to her wedding too. So Jen says, they both can come. It's fine, just as long as it's not Evelyn. So they say goodbye. The ladies go inside and tell Shawnee and Ty that they're invited to the wedding. Child, Shawnee's face said it all. Somebody asked her, "Are you coming?" She was like, "No." Just an automatic no. Evelyn says Shawnee will not give her blessing as a first lady with that union, that low budget wedding. Shawnee says she was invited to the Paris wedding, and Evelyn corrected her, the Paris party. I said, not the Paris party. So it's official, 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 official. Like this, tomorrow, the wedding is the official wedding. Jackie says, well, yeah, it's going to be intimate. His mom isn't even coming, but his aunt and uncle will be there. So me asked, who, the stalking auntie on social media? They're like, yep. She said, I can't wait to meet her. So then Brandy apologizes to the group for inviting Jennifer to the house. And it's like, what? You was just telling everybody that they could kick rocks, take their stuff, and they could leave. You don't care. This is your event, your weekend, your planning, your party, you this, and they could kiss your, and they could leave. And now she flip flopping. She's apologizing, but nobody's accepting it. It's like an upside down apology. Like what? So the next morning, Ty assures Evelyn that she just wants to show support to Jen because she's a lover and she loves weddings and all that. And Evelyn's giving her a hard time. And so she's telling Evelyn, girl, you are my friend to the end, honey, till the wheels fall off. So Evelyn, like, oh, it's just so hard to be mad at Ty because she's such a toxic flip flopper. They say she's kind of, intoxicating. So you got to be careful, honey. So Mean comes down and she's cooking breakfast, pancakes and eggs, excuse me. And Ty is washing dishes, and Evelyn made a comment that they look so cute working as a great couple, in the kitchen. One's washing, one's cooking. So Chantel had left the night before when who called? Oh, when Brandy called her sweetheart and baby. Chantel was like, I gotta go. I need to go get some rest and get some space away from this group. So she went to where her kids are and she spent the night there. But wasn't that a part of your plan anyway? You're not gonna just leave your kids with the nanny the whole weekend, right? Aren't you gonna pop in on them and wake up with them and go to bed with them or something? Ain't that the point of no? That's why you got the nanny. Anyway, so she came back in the morning for breakfast. So Brittany doesn't really like Brandy. And I don't blame her. Like Brandy is like got this weird energy going. So Chantel says she's back in the house and she keeping her eye on Brandy, honey. Brandy, nobody likes you, hun. So Chantel says she don't like how these women can fuss and fight, and then the next minute they act normal, like right after they just got through fighting. I said, girl, welcome to Basketball Wives, girl. Don't act like you don't know how this thing goes. You know your mother, okay? So for the birthday girl, the ladies with the good energy, they're gonna go to an adrenaline mountain, and they'll go there with the birthday girl while Brandy, me, Lee, Ty, and Jackie go to the wedding. There on the adrenaline mountain, they will be blowing up cars, riding monster trucks, and flamethrowing. Okay, this is what you want to do for somebody's birthday. Friends, if you are listening, my real friends, don't ever plan nothing like this for my birthday. Okay, thank you. I'll take a Raiders game instead. Okay. Chantel's in Jackie's room explaining, why she left the house last night. And, Jackie's trying to get dressed for the wedding. They all have to wear all black. And so she said, I left because Brandy was being condescending and thinks it's gonna, she thinks it's gonna be water under the bridge. But honey, there won't be no bridge messing with me. Girl, Chantel, ain't nobody scared of you, hun. You ain't about that life. Shut up. You are not about that life. Jackie thinks Brandy and Chantel are both stubborn, and if they talk, they will get along. Child, you need to work on your relationship with your daughter, Jackie. You ain't even met your son in law, and you don't think nothing's wrong with that? Eh. So Ty says she's regretting telling Ming that Brandy told Evelyn that she was cute. And, she's glad that they're getting along on this trip, and whatever's going to happen will happen. And so Ming knows that Ty wants to be with her and hopes they can rekindle some things, while they're there in Vegas, while they go to the wedding and sit by each other and, fool la la and all of that. But no. So everyone is ready for the wedding. They're dressed in all black. Shawnee looks at Brandy and be like, girl, your dress is inappropriate. You can't wear that. She was like, I'm wearing this. Yes, it is Vegas appropriate. Shawnee told her, well, you wouldn't be able to come to my wedding. I would have them turn you away. Brandy's like, it's Vegas. And she had her hand in Shawnee's face real close, like, woo, woo, woo. And even Evelyn was like, honey, don't make Shawnee thank you for your services again, Brandy. I said, okay, don't make her tell you thank you for your services, honey. Child. So the wedding crew, they arrived to this old dusty old chapel. Child, everybody's like, this is not Jennifer's style. They don't know what has gotten into Jennifer, what is going on. Child, Jackie, they sat out. Jackie thought the pew was about to break. Brooklyn, what? Calm down. Brandy was like, ooh, even the fake plants are dusty. I said, now something is old and when the fake plants ain't even being dusted. Like, come on. Spray them things with some tire dressing. That's what I would do. So Jackie asked, was anybody itching? It's like, ooh, and once somebody asks you that, I bet you everybody started scratching because that makes you scratch when somebody reminds you that you should be itching. So, honey, Brandy was in her confessional like, ew, what's got into Jennifer? Like, ugh. So in the car heading to the adrenaline mountain, Brittany asked Evelyn, does she miss being friends with Jennifer? And Evelyn said, that's a good question. She said, I'm sad for the things that have been said, but I don't mourn the friendship. And I'm like, yes, you do, girl. You do. You do. I mean, you can be mad and upset, but you can mourn. It's okay. You do mourn the friendship. Y'all gonna probably be friends by the end of this season or next season. Y'all be y'all be on and off, on and off, on and off. Is Christian, is this wedding gonna really put the nail in the coffin for you guys' friendship? Maybe. So Christian's aunt and uncle walk in with Jennifer's dog. And I just have a question. Where is Jennifer's family? Does she not have brothers or sisters or cousins or auntie or uncle or godmother? Like, where's her family? Grandmother, grandfather, just what is going on with her family dynamic? So they ask, they ask Auntie Lauren, is she the auntie that's been, on that darn social media acting up? She says, yeah, that's me. And I pulled up on Evelyn. I pulled up in LA. I told Evelyn I was here. I've been in LA for a week and a half. What's up? I'm Bama born, but Atlanta raised me. Child, shut up, Auntie Lauren. I don't play about my nephew. Then Ming looks at her. She's like, I know her. I know her and her family. Ming is shocked at Auntie Lauren. She's like, she is so sweet. And she was like, who is your alter ego? Because you've been clowning. Like, what's been going on? So Auntie Lauren was like, I don't play about my family. Girl, you ain't finna beat nobody up. What you mean you pulled up on Evelyn in LA for a week and a half? To do what? What are y'all finna do? Because until you look at all of late 50s, okay, you need to chill. Who you finna fight? And her husband just sitting there letting her be a fool. Child. I guess, child. Mean says, this is a sticky situation because she's getting to know Evelyn and she likes Evelyn and, she likes Jen. Jen is her girl. She like, this is so sticky. So Jackie is being messy. She taking pictures of the chapel and sending them to Chantel, child. So of course Chantel's with the group of girls with Evelyn, for her birthday. And of course she's telling them she's sharing pictures and all that. And they talking about how this is not Jen's old bougie and uppity vibe. They like, what has gotten into her? What is going on? And I'm like, she's very lowbrow, thanks to Christian. Jennifer, I wish you well, but baby, you don't think that you're in a little bit of trouble? You don't care? You here for, money is her love language, honey. So Evelyn says, Jennifer is a scam. So Jackie is explaining to Evelyn, and she's explaining to the auntie Evelyn and Jennifer's dynamic, how they've been friends for 20 years. They've been on and off and on again. And, Evelyn is scared for Jennifer, and she's done some research on Christian and, some things to say. Something in the milk ain't clean, honey. And so she said, well, I did some research on Evelyn and she needs to date a gynecologist. Child, everybody was like, wait, what? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Jackie was like, I gotta go pray. You go over there, go sit down and go on over there. Let's gather ourselves accordingly and get ready for this wedding. Everybody was like, wow. Did she just say that? So then Christian walks in and he has a speech. He's telling them that they only want people at their wedding who got good energy, that's here to support Jennifer. He don't care. He don't need the support, but he wants to be sure people are there for Jennifer. And it's like, well, Christian, you have the support from your family. Your auntie and uncle are there. All Jennifer got there is a dog. All she got is a dog, child. And these co-workers. These 4 co-workers and a dog. Child. Okay, y'all. Where is Jennifer's family? Does she have any? It's giving very weird. So he's talking all this mess. And then, honey, he calls Brandy out. He confronts her and he tells her that he is not dumb and he wants to keep the Gemini code going. We don't talk about no kids and nobody husbands. Those off limits, that should never come up. And then he says, Jen said you're talking to Evelyn about her, and then Evelyn is putting out false allegations about me, saying I'm guilty of a crime and I got these victims and blah, 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 blah. So he says, I love Jennifer. Don't you see her happiness? Yeah, I guess, Christian. So Brandy is sitting there shocked, like, this is so inappropriate to be confronted me at his wedding in a room with 5, 6 other people. And I'm like, well, girl, what's inappropriate is that dress you got on with your hoo-ha out, with your thigh leg, and girl, she looked good in it though, but it just wasn't for a wedding, Vegas or wherever. Okay. So she tells him, I don't know any facts. And, I don't need to see no receipts. There goes Jackie. He got plenty of receipts. And he like, yeah, I got plenty of receipts. Brandy was like, no, I don't need to see any receipts, because me and Jennifer had a talk. You know what I'm saying? And, I told her I was staying out of it. Child, Brooklyn is like, if you don't finish this up, can you be patient? Okay, be patient. Be humble. Bye. And so, sorry, y'all. And so she said she's staying out of it. And so Chris was like, yep, that's what you need, Toto. She said, because if Jennifer doesn't have a problem with your past and your present, then why should I be worried or even care? And that was music to Christian's ears. He was like, okay, we good. And so they hugged. So, child, in comes the smoke from the fog machine. Child, Jennifer comes rolling in a old school pink Cadillac convertible, child. And she rolls into the chapel. That's why those plants are dusty, because of all that smoke and all that engine dust coming from that car. Child, it was something, I guess, honey. She's in this pearl dress, y'all. Like the whole dress in the front is just streams of pearls from the chest to the foot to the feet, okay? Then out in the car is little Elvis, the little Elvis, the miniature Elvis. Child. And Jackie said in her confessionals, times sure are changing. She said times sure are changing, honey. Yeah, everybody's like, where is the bougie Jennifer? Where is the sophisticated Jennifer? Who is this Jennifer having this old bootsy, low budget, low brow, low ugh, wedding in Vegas? Now, baby, in Vegas, you can have a nice wedding. It's giving that y'all don't have no money. What's up? It's giving you need to go scam some more people, honey. I'm not condoning that. So they repeat their vows as little Elvis is telling them what to say. Jennifer don't even remember what she was supposed to say. She was halfway into it and said, what else did you say? Just stupid. Jennifer is stupid. People call her delusional, but she's stupid. She was maybe delusional 2 relationships ago, but this is just this ongoing scam. These scam people, these scamish men she likes, money being her love language. It has her stupid. She's not delusional. She's stupid. Okay, I've said it 1,000 times, but you get it. Can I say it one more time? Okay, no, okay. So now they are officially married, child, and they get back in the pink Cadillac and they drive off into the streets of Vegas. They in this pink Cadillac and they are waving goodbye to their 3 friends. It was like, why did y'all do all of that just to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like his aunt and uncle are there with a dog, and then Jackie, meanly Ty, and Brandy come. No other real friends for Jennifer. No other friends, like real friends, No friends, no family. Like that was really weird. It's giving really weird. So the girls are having fun over there at the Adrenaline Mountain, child. Man, Chantel is doing the flame throwing. Evelyn is doing the car smashing. And looked like Brittany and Denise had got in a monster truck. So Evelyn, after they're done, they're sitting at a fire, just chilling and drinking coffee or tea or hot chocolate, whatever. And so some of the girls get up to go get some. And so Evelyn is telling Shawnee that, Chantel is a breath of fresh air for the group. She's keeping Jackie in line. And Brittany said, uh-huh. What did she say? She checking her something. I didn't write it down. But yeah, she's keeping her mama in line. And so they think it's crazy that Jackie hasn't met her son-in-law yet. And so Shawty says, well, yeah, Jackie is respecting Chantel's boundaries. And so Brittany asked, or is it guilt? Like, is Jackie just going with it because she's been a basketball wife for so long? She rode with Doug to every game. Like Jackie was that wife. Hold on, besties. Jackie was known to drive behind the tour bus that the players were on. She went to every game. I don't think that girl missed a game. And she sacrificed the relationships with her kids because of that. She wasn't there. So that's where the guilt is coming in from, right? So, because Jackie wasn't a good mother, she wasn't. She wasn't there. She was running behind Doug. And so at the hotel, Christian's friend or cousin shows up. He missed the wedding. His flight was delayed. He came anyway. So they're wishing them, fun. And they know, it's about to happen. They're about to consummate their union. And so in there, the hotel room, child, Christian, like, I want to suck your toes. Honey, Jen picked her foot up and said, here you go. Here I go. And stuck her big toe in his mouth. He like, you want me to suck it down? And he was like, I ain't no punk. And he sucks her big toe on television. And it was so, it was so, and then he said, that tastes good. And then she says, well, I want to taste it too. So then they kissed. Now I've had my toes sucked. I mean, but on TV and just sticking your foot in somebody's mouth and just us watching it, like, can I get a notice so I could not look? But I had to look for y'all, right? But it was just gross. It was gross to me. Okay, was it gross to you, besties? So all the ladies meet for Evelyn's birthday dinner at a restaurant, and Evelyn was looking at the waiter. So she said, I'm gonna be good, but I am looking at him. I think it was the neck tattoos. Shawnee had clocked it. Oh, I think that's what they said, that Chantel clocks Jackie. That's what they said. She clocks Jackie. So Evelyn, like, I'm gonna be good. I'm cool. So the girls who came back, from the wedding, someone asked them how was Brandy's dress at the wedding, and she said it was very Vegas appropriate. They loved it, even the bride. Shut up, Brandy. So Jackie tells him about, Jen's pink Cadillac entrance and all that, and they're looking like, ugh. And then she tells him what the auntie said about pulling up in LA looking for Evelyn. There was no Evelyn. And then, of course, she told Evelyn what she said about the dating a gynecologist. And so Evelyn was like, oh, okay, so while she popping off talking about me, who was defending me? Uh-huh. Oh, none of y'all? Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. And so then Evelyn tells us, well, Jennifer is the one who ended up in the hospital years ago with a yeast infection. Talking about her twat was wide open, looking like a blowfish. Wait, what? It blew up like a blowfish behind a yeast infection? I don't think yeast infections do that, Evelyn. Are you sure it was a yeast infection? I thought yeast infections, you just have a discharge that kind of looks like cottage cheese and maybe it's itchy. And you don't need to be in a hospital for yeast. Like, come on. Okay, Evelyn, it's not giving. It did not land. It wasn't, because we all know a yeast infection can be handled behind, it's a, what do you call it, child, when you can go to the drugstore? Over the counter. You can just buy something for a yeast infection. You don't have to end up at emergency. What? Oh, goodness. So Brandy says, well, we were all caught off guard when she said that. I mean, come on, Evelyn. We were at a wedding. We couldn't be just popping off at a wedding. Evelyn says, so why didn't you talk to her after the wedding then, since you can't pop off? And I'm sitting here going, well, the auntie was talking her talk at the wedding. It wasn't but her and her husband and y'all. Wasn't nobody there. Christian walks in and starts chopping you down like a tree. Like, what if there was no decorum here? There was not a whole bunch of people there. What were you trying to be chilled for? Huh? Christian coming in popping off, the auntie popping off. I mean, everybody's popping off. Like, girl. So Evelyn says, I would never let nobody talk about y'all like that. They could never. And she said, y'all so fake. Y'all fake as F-U-C-K. She says, you know what? And tell her F her. I said, okay. And Jackie gonna run back and tell her. And Mean Lee, because Mean Lee know her. So Jackie says, if she would have said something, it would have escalated. And she's right. And so then Jackie apologized to Evelyn. Evelyn says, yeah, she sees where she stands with these women. It's a reality check, and she checked it. Okay. This is in her confessionals. This is not her responding to Jackie. And she just doesn't like how they moving. And I don't blame her, because why did you call the girl to come to the house? You just trying. We know it's production, but why? I'm sure you have a child. Okay. So Chantel asks, why are we here? Why did we come to Vegas? Let's get back to that. We came here to celebrate Evelyn's birthday. Yes, I know that, but that's not what we're doing. So Shani says, yeah, the energy is off. Chantel is like, yeah, it's some real weird S hit going on. Y'all know what S hit is? Pig Latin? No, not Pig Latin. So she just said, it's some real BS going on. Weird, So Jackie was like, well, you know what? Let's address the elephant in the room, because this is what we do. If it's something that somebody needs to say it. Just say it. We can have a Ponderosa right now. You know me. I am Ponderosa queen. So Shani says, she just been having a stank attitude since I got here. And Chantel said, since we got here, like before you even came, she was stank. So Brandy says, cut it out. Chantel was like, you talking to me? Brandy was like, yeah, stay in a child's place. And so everybody's like, she's not a child. Everybody's like, she's not a kid. She's not a child. Why are you telling her that? And the episode goes off. So, of course, I had to do a little digging. And I found out that Chantel is 32 years old, honey. Her birthday was yesterday on June 1st. She's 32. So I pulled up Brandy's age. Her birthday was on May 21st. She's 42. Stay in a child's place. You're only 10 years her senior, honey. She's an adult. She is a whole adult. Because she's with her mother, that doesn't make her a child. That makes her Jackie's daughter. So anything that happens from here on out, it needs to happen, Brandy, because you're being very, very weird, and we don't like you this season. We just don't like you. You're doing weird things. You're just doing things. And besties, that was the end of the episode. And I don't know what y'all think. All I know is I'll be back with another recap. Bye, besties.